Together with me, Caitlin O'Ryan, a podcast that celebrates not having your shit together. On today's episode, we have Dipo Ola. Dipo moved with his family to the UK as a child. After studying, he made his screen debut in the critically acclaimed and multi-award nominated Channel 4 series Baghdad Central. He's gone on to work with the BBC on the cult classic anthology show Inside Number 9, as well as We Hunt Together, and most recently the upcoming genre-bending series Ludwig. He also appeared in the much-anticipated sister-produced HBO true crime miniseries Landscapers, directed by Will Sharpe. Other roles include Sky's Cobra, ITV's McDonald and Dodds, and in the Hulu pilot History of a Pleasure Seeker. Dipo and I went to drama school together at Oxford School of Drama, and it was really nice to catch up with him over the podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Here's Dipo.
Just going to pretend that we've just started talking.
No, I literally just got here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How was the journey?
Oh, my God.
It's far, eh?
Victoria, Quickie Vicky.
Quickie Vicky,
Yeah.
is that what you call it?
That's what I've heard. That's
oh,
what
really?
it's called.
I'm going to start calling it that.
Yeah, do you know what? And you can tell people. Right,
Yeah.
No, just take it. It's not mine. You take it.
Yeah. Where have you come from?
I've come from the southwest of London.
Okay. And you've been there for years?
Years.
And it's not got boring for you
No,
yet?
I'm a creature of comfort.
Okay.
I don't like change unless I commit to the change.
Right.
I'm just like, I like when I get comfortable somewhere. It's nice. Just,
Yeah.
There's your gym. There's your cafe.
What are like the top 5 things in Tooting that you would like people to know about?
I think top 5 is pushing it. I can't lie. I can't lie to you.
Just
Top 5.
one selling point.
I think that it's far from the centre of London,
right.
which is a good thing for
Yeah,
me
yeah.
because it's like you have a bit of quiet ball, so you can go in and it's like, oh my God, Central London. Really great Indian food.
Yeah, there really is.
Like
Some of the
really
markets
great.
are really good down there.
Tooting Market,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. I really enjoy it. I've got my favourite Cantonese noodle place called Ding Ding. It's so good.
Stunning.
And the guy that owns it, he goes to my gym, so every so often I'll be like, oh my God,
Wow.
hey, the thing.
Nice.
And
Making connections down there.
yeah, making a bit of
Yeah.
community.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does, but I'm
Yeah.
always hesitant to do it because whenever I'm like out and about, I'm always listening to something or just I'm
Yeah.
going somewhere. I
Putting
don't
yourself
really
off from
but
connecting.
I'm not really I won't go to a cafe and just work kind of person,
Right.
or I won't just like be anywhere just because I'm like I'm going here to do this and
Yeah.
I'm going home.
London's quite
yeah.
specific as well, because if you go over to people to say hello, I think people look like you're about to kill them. Like they're not used to friendliness. A lot of
Nah,
people.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I do blame them, but I don't blame them because you don't know what someone's gonna say.
Yeah.
Could be friendly, but you could, actually, maybe I've been, self-conscious about that, and then all of a sudden you're in like a little hole. And how you gonna get?
Talking
Yeah,
to
yeah,
someone
yeah.
on the bus that you never
Yeah.
committed to.
But even then, with that, like you have to. Well, I found for myself, but I think you have to kind of prepare yourself to talk to somebody, and I think like if you don't, like there'll be people that I see every so often. I'm like, oh, next time I see them, I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk to them. But then I know that like if they're the first person I've spoken to in that day, it's
Yeah.
not going to go well because I haven't.
You've not had water, you're not hydrated.
I haven't spoken to anybody. So I haven't the seal of just being
Also,
like, yo, hi.
Yeah.
You know?
If I'm in the gym and someone comes and talks to me, I'm like livid. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my time to not, I've not
Yeah.
made any effort here. I'm
Yeah.
purposefully just wanting to focus on myself.
Yeah.
Now it's not time for a friendly encounter.
Yeah, I always feel like a bit put about because when I'm in the gym, I'm like, okay, now I'm doing my thing, but then, oh no, I know that PT, but then I just won't until I feel comfortable to, or when maybe I'm convenient in my workout, I'll go, oh hey, yeah, nice to see you, and it'll be like 20 minutes after I first saw it.
Didn't see you there.
I was like, no, but it's like, I did see you, and I saw you, but I'm just like in the zone for a bit, and then once I'm out the
That's okay.
zone, I'm like, oh, hi, yeah, lovely to see you, man, hope you're well, and then I just do my thing and go. But yeah, it must be a bit confusing because I'm a regular, so I'm just like, oh, I wonder if he's going to say hi to them. I don't always, but then I do. And maybe as I'm
You're just
going,
being aloof, babe. It's fine.
it's my thing, man.
Yeah.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
Mate,
Keep them guessing.
it's always as I'm going, I'm like, oh, hi, nice to see you. Hope you have a great
I
day.
can't trap you in a conversation.
No, I'm just going.
About to scoot. Okay, well, for context, we know each other.
We don't.
Okay.
We don't.
I just dragged you off the street. I actually came and
Yeah.
said hello to you in the gym and was like, would you like to come and do a podcast?
And I was like, okay, well, fine, because I'm in my
actually
downtime.
on my way out.
Yeah, I'm on my way out. I'll do anything to leave. No, we do know each other.
Yeah. It's been years.
It has been.
How long? Like, COVID?
Maybe. When did we go for that bike ride to
I think
Richmond?
that was like 2020. I'd just come back to London and everything was a bit weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you cheated because you had a motorized.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that anymore.
No. Well, I don't care. But when we did it, I had an actual road bike, so I was like killing myself, and you were just like, tee I'm gonna cycle. And then
it was an electric bike. I made a bad purchase decision, but the reason was that I hadn't cycled for ages. And so I was a bit nervous because London's really big, and like, how do you cycle around without dying all the time? So I got an electric bike because I thought it would help. But then actually, I realised in a really brilliant way that I was actually a really good cyclist, and that the electric thing was holding me back. No,
I think the electric thing was because I would be like, all right, it's a right turn here, it's a hill, and I start pedaling. All I hear is zzz, and you just go. But I'm just like, nah, you're taking. Yeah,
I did feel judged by other cyclists, so my embarrassment made me change bikes, and I now just have a push bike. So
okay, that's good. Welcome to the real world of cycling in London.
But it's great because it's super flat around here.
No. See, you're even. No, man.
You live with all the hills.
Yeah, I live in the hills. Yeah. In the hills. So I'm taking it. Do you know what it is about cycling? You have to kind of cycle like a car when you're cycling on the road.
Tell me more.
Because if you appear as a bike, they will treat you like a bike.
So you have to like kind of manifest wider space.
You kind of have to like go, I don't really care if we crash.
Okay.
And then you won't.
Okay.
It's really weird. When you have the fear, that's when people don't really even like
and you're
pay
a bit
attention.
Delicate. Yeah.
They don't see you. You have to be strong. Go, do you know what? I might cycle in the middle of the road just because I can. And you get angry, but just we've had a moment and now it's respectful.
Yeah.
That's what I do anyway.
Okay. Top tips there.
I did get hit by a car though.
That must have been a moment where you weren't manifesting being a car.
No, it was a van was turning into a supermarket, and I was kind of like going across the gap, and I just don't think he saw me because he just kind of like kept going, and I was just like, am I about to get hit? And then I did.
You did?
But
were you wearing a helmet?
Always wear a helmet.
Always.
Because at how we know each other at drama school, I saw a guy get hit.
Did you?
And he was asking for his mum, and I was like, that is the most exposing thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
That's
I can
really
never get hit. Never, ever, ever.
Way to bring the vibe of the podcast.
Bro, I'm sorry, but like it really like traumatized. I was with Grace at the time.
Oh my God.
And we were just like trying to help him and trying to take, because the thing you're supposed to do is try and take their mind off of what's happened. So I was like, what have you done today? I was like, what's your job? And he was like, why the hell are you asking me my job right now? I just got hit by a car. And I was like, yeah, probably not the best way to distract him, but yeah.
Wow, not all heroes.
So everybody always wear a helmet.
Yeah.
I'm very, very staunch on that. I'm
Diligent.
like, have to. Yeah, all the time.
Okay, well, on that, on a scale of shit to together, how are you feeling today?
I feel so together today.
Yeah, go on, why?
Went to the gym today.
Yeah?
Didn't speak to anyone.
Okay, great.
Actually, no, I did say hi on the way out.
It's your first time having a conversation.
Yeah, it's my first
it's
conversation.
Feeling rusty. I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah, I'm a bit, oh, God. Went to the gym today. I kind of like, do you ever get that thing where you're in your room and you look at it and you're like, nah, this needs to change?
Like your bedroom?
Yeah, I just need to change the configuration.
Okay.
So I was like, just before here, I needed to shower. And I was like, no, but I need...
Like the feng shui?
Yeah, I needed to change everything. So I just I put my desk of drawers somewhere and I was like, nah, that's even worse. I put it back, but changed the angle and I pushed my bed back and then I because it was it's been quite warm this week, weirdly, global warming.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been quite warm this week. So I put my, not the blinds, but the curtains up. And I was like, oh yeah, nice. I'm feeling it.
Oh, okay.
So then I showered and I was like, I came back to the room. I was like, yeah, this is it.
You've been busy.
I've been busy, man.
And then you came here.
And I came here.
Yeah.
I was playing just solitaire on the way here. I'm really into it at the minute. I have no clue why.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's because people have been telling me they make money from it.
And that's your next adventure.
I'm always trying to make a quick buck.
How do you make money from solitaire?
Apparently you play professionally and you bet on it.
Wow.
But the way they do it is so quick. It's
You're playing it on an app?
Yeah. I'm just getting my practice in before I start losing money.
Up.
Yeah. Because otherwise I'll just get fleeced and I'll be,
No one wants that.
Nah, of course not. Well, maybe they want that, but I personally don't want that. Fair. I want that. But to answer your question, I'm feeling very together. I feel very good.
That's good.
Very, very good.
Okay, so on that then, what does having your shit together mean to you?
Oh, what does having your shit together? I think it means just happiness for me and kind of a sense of belonging.
Okay.
Not necessarily geographically, but just kind of sense of I belong in my own skin.
Yeah.
I feel good about where I'm at and what I'm doing. one thing I've kind of learned is that I need like trying to figure out what my like love language is for myself.
Okay.
And what makes me feel kind of most myself, which is being able to kind of wake up early. I'm annoyingly, I'm a morning person.
Are you?
Yeah.
That is the worst kind of person.
Yeah, it really is. Like, even when I'm not like filming, I'm up at like 6, 7 a.m. regardless.
I feel like that's an achiever thing, though. Achievers get up early.
I personally, I would like to not get up early. But I think when I get into a rhythm, most of my body's just like, right, up.
Yeah.
And also, like, from when I was a kid, my parents would never let me stay.
Lie in.
Yeah. They'd always be like, you need to go up and do something. So I've always been like, all right, I might as well just start my day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll go. And also, apparently, hot tip, apparently, within, like, I think the first hour of waking up, you're supposed to, like, be active. Not, like, go for a run or anything, but apparently it helps metabolize your day.
Okay.
So, like, if you're, you go do, like, a half an hour walk, apparently it helps throughout the day.
Nice.
Just kind of, like, get your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I try and get up and just...
get out of the house immediately.
Yeah, go to the gym, do something, maybe get, like, a smoothie from the cafe, do some writing, or, like, maybe, like, a voiceover if I've got one.
Yeah.
And just start, see the world a little bit.
So what do you think it is that makes you feel, you say that like belonging makes you feel happy, but what does belonging look like for you?
I think belonging for me just looks, I don't think I know it's a question that say you look, but I think it feels like comfortability in who I am as a person.
Okay.
I'm gotten to a point in my life where I'm so comfortable being myself that I really relish the opportunities to not be through work. And that's like, when that happens, it's really, really great. And I think when I get kind of a bit angsty about work is because when I haven't had the opportunity to not be myself.
Wow.
By like kind of like doing some, some character stuff. I go, okay, God, I've been myself for too long. I need to kind of scratch the itch. A little bit, yeah. And I just want to like release in the way that I probably wouldn't. And I get to do that through, actually, they pay me to do that, so that's even better.
Okay.
And it's a nice way for me to kind of like have the duality of who I am and who, like, the bits of myself that I would like to be a bit more like, but I'm at the end of the day, like, they're not me. Yeah. So it's like, how do I then express myself through kind of like my work or my hobbies and all that kind of stuff, and circle back to my comfortability. I think that's it.
So it's like stretching yourself, isn't it? Because I think for a lot of people, feeling productive and stuff is really good for them to be at their most fulfilled, I guess. And I definitely feel like that. If I've had a bit of time where I feel like I'm not contributing to something or I'm not stretching myself in some kind of way, I get really agitated.
Yeah, how do you do it?
Do what?
To find like the sense of belonging.
Shit like this.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, okay. And like whenever I start to get that feeling, I have to do something that scares me. Like that's basically the thing that I do. So when I start to feel confined or frustrated with like how my week's going or something, because I've started doing like spoken word, so I'll just look for like a spoken word night or something. Thank you. He's seen some shows. So I'll just like go to like a night and I'll just like read something new that I've written, just so that I can have like a sense of achievement, I guess. But also those spaces are amazing because there's so many people there for the same reason, who are like wanting to be creative and vulnerable and like reach out to each other, that suddenly you're like within a community. Because I think London, I don't know about you, but when I first moved to London, I was just like, fucking hell, like this is so big, how does anyone get to know anyone? Like it was mad. And from the drama school that we came from, which was tiny, and there was like 60 people who you knew everyone, like to then suddenly be spread out in London where you don't fucking know everyone. People are 70 minutes away from you. That should be a different city. That's mental. And I just felt so overwhelmed by it. And it really did take me years to start to feel like London was like a community. And like, you know, having Ant around the corner to do this podcast or, you know, just trying to like stretch yourself, I guess, and feel some kind of purpose. And like volunteering, I volunteer, like that's a really good way to feel grounded within what's going on in the world, because I think the problem with the career that we have is that you can be so self-orientated a lot, like going to the gym on your own, like going sitting in a cafe to do some work on your own. Like, I can go through a day sometimes and I've not fucking spoken to anyone.
Can we swear? Oh, it's called Have You Got Shit Together?
Literally shit is in every question. Have you just been like holding back all the swear words?
Right, yeah, so many swear words as well.
I was thinking you've changed.
I
you
have
used to swear all the
man.
time.
That's the truth.
So I think stuff like that really, where I can feel connected to people. And, you know, when I do stuff like this, I feel like incredible when I walk away from it because I'm like, wow, I've just had like a really powerful like moment with someone, you know?
Yeah, that's so true. It's like I was talking to, because I'm working on something at the minute, I was talking to one of the drivers and he was talking about how like, I was like, so how did you get into it? Like, why'd you do this? And he was like, well, you know, I really like driving, but also I really like people.
What a great collab.
And I was like, I love the fact that you've put yourself in a position to experience both of the things that you really like enjoy. And every time I work with him, we always have like an amazing chat. And he's just such a sweet guy. And it's like I just love the fact that people go, I like these two things. Is there a way I can merge them together and be happy all the time? And I really admire that about people. And I think that's one thing I've always tried to kind of take more for myself, is that kind of way, okay, what makes me happy and like how can I do that? And obviously, like, you know, we're fortunate when we able to do the things that we're really passionate about, we can, you know, be compensated for that. That's a really, really fortunate thing. But even sometimes you know, I'm really into photography. Okay. And like, I hate when anybody's like, you should like charge people. I'm like, can I not just like
do something for the love of it?
For the like take a financial loss on this little hobby that like I just have fun doing. Like I just love whenever I'm working or if I'm traveling to just take my film cameras and just take pictures and get them developed and all that kind of stuff. Someone's always like, nah, you should. I'm like, no. Like, because then it's just a product and I'm an employee again and I don't want to be that. That's so true, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. That is such a thing that I've been like working with, is when I think because like acting, for example, is like a creative pursuit that we've probably all wanted to do since we were kids or something like that. And then when it becomes a thing that's like paying your rent, there's like this weird external pressure on it. And it's no longer this thing where you go to for escape. So it's like trying to find that in different avenues. And I've found from like writing and doing poetry, because I'm now in a place where I'm like getting booked for gigs and stuff. It's almost become a second part of that thing where it's like, okay, it's the thing that's earning me money again.
Which is always great.
Which is great. And it's like validation of like
100%.
being a professional poet is amazing. But like sometimes it'll be like, okay, well maybe I don't want to perform at this open mic thing because I wouldn't get paid for it. But then I'm like, no, like check yourself. Like you're just doing this because you enjoy doing it, and you, what I get out of it is far greater than, you know, getting some money for like a 20-minute set, you know. But it is a weird thing of like being self-employed. I think that kind of hustly pressure to find something that will support you, because it's such a weird trajectory that we've chosen.
I think it is like I think it is a privileged thing as well, because like one of the things that I live by now more than ever is the idea of money coming and money going, because I've experienced it. And like I'm still alive, you know what I mean? Like you can be in a very unfortunate position financially, you can be in a very fortunate position financially, and those things change, and like you'll always kind of fluctuate. And also like off the back of COVID, I think it showed that a lot of people do just kind of live paycheck to paycheck, and one or two, and then like your circumstances can drastically be altered, and it can be through no fault of your own. And I think like that's really humbling in a way, but also I've tried to see it as something that's quite freeing, the idea of like it being an ecosystem of, you know, I'll always do this thing where if I get like really good news, I'll go and, you know, actually, I don't know if I should say, I'll go and just like pay it forward. But like I won't tell anybody where or what or why. I'll just be like, I feel like doing that, but like why? And I'm just like, no reason. And then just like go about my day. Because I think it's just important, this idea of like, if you don't kind of like, I don't want to say spend money, but if you don't live your life and like pursue the things that I guess truly make you happy, if you can, like for me, traveling is one, but I think, you know, as long as you leave your house, you're traveling. You know, even today I've traveled to North London. I don't really come to North London, do you know what I mean? But like,
broaden those horizons.
You know, whereas I might like really love, you know, being by the beach. I know it's not feasible for everybody, but even if you want to just change your immediate kind of like surroundings, your perspective can change.
There's
so much.
There's something about being by water, isn't there?
Oh my God, I love it.
Which I feel like why London's quite good, because you are close enough, I think, often to get near somewhere like that.
It's like I went to Brighton for my birthday.
I love Brighton so
and
much.
just like waking up in the morning and just overlooking, the endless kind of like sea.
Yeah, the sunsets there are like,
oh my God, it's so
amazing.
like so humbling and just so beautiful, but also kind of I feel very comfortable there, and I feel like, okay, maybe I have my shit together, maybe I have my life together a little bit.
Cool.
But then I know that's not, the two don't equate to that. I just know that like I'm happy, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, I asked you to think of an object that makes you feel like you've got your shit together.
I think it's my film camera.
Okay.
I now have 5.
Wow.
No, wait, 4. I've got like a Practica, like a manual one, and I've got 2 smaller point and shoot ones, like a Ricoh one and a Canon one, and then I've got my bigger point and shoot, which is a Pentax, because I broke my other one.
I'm nodding along here because I know film cameras are cool and play along with it.
So I brought my other one because I went to go watch AFC Wimbledon because they're like my local team.
Yeah.
I don't support them. I support Aston Villa, but like I'm not gonna go to Birmingham all the time to watch games. So I was like, when I feel like I want to be amongst the people and like experience like live entertainment football, I'll go there.
Nice.
And so I went and I was just taking pictures and
cool.
And like something really good happened. Someone like, why is it? Somebody got sent off and we all just kind of reacted, and I stood up and dropped it. And I was like, oh,
no.
So then like the shutter stopped working. So I was like, damn.
Yeah. When did you get into photography then?
I've been into it for like 2 years now. And just, I think it's because like when we work and film, I'm so used to cameras being in my face that I quite like
being behind it.
Yeah, and like I'll never. And to be fair, my mum, bless her, she really loves taking photos all the time. But I just don't like iPhone photos. I think they're a bit lame.
Yeah.
But she's just always like photo. And I've always admired that. And I think it's so important because you never look back at an event and go, damn, I wish I didn't take more photos. You'd always be like, oh, thank you for like taking that photo. So I'm trying to like reclaim my relationship with photos and really enjoying being the person who takes the photos and like getting a good photo. Because it's like, this is the lamest thing I'll ever say.
There's like a science to it, right?
There really is, but this is the lamest thing I'll ever say. It's like, once you start shooting on film specifically, because you only really get a finite amount of opportunities, because it's normally like 24 or 36 rolls it's 24 opportunities to take a picture or 36, right? So like when you see a good shot, you go, oh wow, that would be a really, really good shot. But then it actually makes you see the world a bit differently, because you go, oh, that lighting's really nice, or the architecture is really, really interesting, or the way that this person stood, or the way that or the way that like that car is parked, or that car in particular is like a nostalgic muscle car. Like it's just it's been really enlightening for kind of like taking in surroundings and seeing the world in quite like a different way, which I really enjoyed.
I guess like with iPhone photos and stuff like that, you can end up taking like 10 of like the same thing, and then you just like choose the best one. But there is something about like taking that moment to get a photo, and then when you get them developed, it's like the whole process of the thing, and then it's like you treasure that photo more because it's the only existence of that one thing.
Honestly, whenever Snappy Snaps sends me that link, I get butterflies, man. I'm like, oh, I can't wait.
Do you get them printed out?
So what I do is
I
get digital, but then I've got this other app that allows me to make like little books.
Cute.
So then I've got like, when I work now, I kind of like make those books. I've got 2 so far.
Little albums.
Little albums of just like the photos that I took.
To look through when you're old.
When I'm old. Or even when I'm older in 4 or 5 years' time, and just be like, look, this is what I like to do. Maybe really I'll have like 10 by then, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, can you tell me about a time in your life where you felt like you really had your shit together?
Really had my shit together?
Really had your shit together.
Oh, really had my shit together. Okay. Oh, I think when I got my first job.
Okay, tell me about it.
Acting job. When I got my first acting job, and I was filming in Morocco.
Okay. What was that? Was that Baghdad?
Yeah, Baghdad Central. Yep. And I was like...
How soon after drama school was that? Talk me through.
That was in August, the year we came to London.
Okay. So like a month after.
No, but this is the thing. Again, this is like the whole perspective thing, because we left Oxford in, I think, like March or June.
We were in different years.
All that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
I would like to clarify that.
Yes, we were in different years. Caitlin went ages before.
A year
before. So we spent 2 years together.
Yeah.
Which is really, really great.
Yeah.
And Caitlin's amazing, by the way. she just had a sign up to tell me to say that, but she's taken that down.
That's not
but,
true. I would like that noted.
Yeah, that was commissioned. She said she's going to give me £20 to say that. It's fine.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants me to say anything, please, I will say anything for money. That's truth.
Text it in, guys.
Text it in, guys.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Yeah, I know you got carried away with yourself there, didn't you?
I did. I'm sorry. I had to commit to the bit, you know.
Yeah. So you got it in August.
Yeah, but like, this is the thing. Like, once I had the agent meetings, obviously you start auditioning straight away.
Yeah.
And I think more so then, I don't know what it is now because obviously I'm not a graduate now, but it felt like you were just being put up for everything, which is great because you were meeting all the people that you needed to meet.
Just
throwing. Yeah, because then you're like, because then I met loads of really good friends around that time through those auditions who I'd see at an audition and I'd see again and I'd be like, oh, should I say hi?
We're the same casting.
We're the same, but now we're not, which is the interesting thing.
Yeah.
I think because they don't know you, they're just going, well, what can you do? And then like you kind of sort yourselves by, okay, now I'm the guy who does this, or I can do this, or I can do this and that. But then I'd make friends with those people, like a couple that are really, really good friends now. Yeah. And you'd go, okay, I'm just auditioning, and like I wasn't even. I don't think I would ever get a job if I kept in that kind of like mind frame, because I was just like, okay, I've got to be on time. Got to make sure I'm polite, which is all good things. Obviously, not to not do these things, but I was like, I wasn't really enjoying like the art of it or the craft of it. So I was just like, oh my God, like shaking. Oh my God.
Just want them to like you as well.
Yeah, because then you're in these offices and you see like all the stuff they've done. You're like, oh my God, I can't do any of this.
Oh my God.
And you're just like, all right, let me just remember my lines because I'm really anxious and all this kind of stuff.
Wow.
And then you kind of like get a bit closer. Like the first time you get like a recall, you go, oh, like somebody wants to see me again.
Yeah.
And then it's not just like, oh, he was really sweet, really nice.
Oh God, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, cool. Now I could feasibly do this. They could see something. And then like, as you get closer and closer, you go, oh, okay, let me refine the love of, you know, actually exploring and doing that, the creative part. And then, funny I say that because the way I actually got that job was, I was doing this like, what was it? It's like I was in this immersive play in Kew Gardens. Okay. And I wanted to audition. So that was actually your first job. That was actually my first story. But it was like where I was living at the time. They were just like, "Do you want to do this thing?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I didn't really know what it was, and they were just like, "You're just gonna guide people, basically." So it wasn't really acting. It was just like there.
A tour guide.
A little bit. Yeah. And I remember we wore these blue overalls, and I was like, "Okay,
nice."
And yeah, the way I ended up getting that job was I wanted to go meet in the room, but obviously I had to do this immersive production. Yeah. And they wouldn't, obviously, because I'm working for them, they wouldn't let me. So I was like, oh God, how am I going to do it? And then they were like, obviously, can you put it on tape? And I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah. But the way I put it on tape was so haphazard to what I would normally have done. So basically, Hunter was who we studied with. Hunter was here. Yeah.
He's from LA.
He's from LA.
For context.
No, he's from New York.
From New York?
Sorry, he's from LA. He lives in New York.
Oh, okay.
So you were right.
But
My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he is from America.
Yeah.
Which is not London.
The United States of America, everybody. And he was there, so I wanted to see him because I knew I had to go back to do the job again the next day. And so we were at Jack's place, I think in like Waterloo or something like that. Yeah. Or no, we just met in Waterloo. And Alice was there. Oh, these are people that are on my
This is
course.
Really fun for anyone listening.
Yeah, if you go onto the website, Graduate 2018, you can like picture you can put a name to a face.
Name to a face,
And they were all there, and other people there, George as well. Yeah. And I just needed to do the tape before we hung out.
Wow.
So we did it in like, we managed to get into like this like flat reception. Yeah. By going, oh yeah, I lost my keys. Like, can you just help me in? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah. So we just did it downstairs.
Oh my God.
In like the worst lighting with somebody shaking it who were a bit like, I think they were half cut, like just shaking it. I had to do this like American soldier thing. Wow. And I could only do it like 2 or 3 times because obviously like I'm not
had to get back to the vibes upstairs.
So then we did it and then we went to the bar, sent it off, and then that's how I got my
That is
first
so
job.
crazy how that happens.
Yeah. Which even more to the point, I remember when I was then doing the job, I was talking to the producer about like, how do you cast all this kind of stuff? And he was like, well, when we met you after your thing, and I was like, you didn't meet me. And he was like, oh. I was like, yeah, you never met me. I self-tape. He's like, you got it off a self-tape. And I was like, you gave me the job, bro, so you tell me. And he was
you
like,
took someone else's job is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
There's some poor guy out there who's doing like tour guides in London.
Yeah, and he was just like, no clue about whether, like, how he'd even got the job.
God.
I was just like, oh, fair. This must be the industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on that job, I just felt kind of like, it felt like the ultimate of what I'd been working for.
Yeah.
But like the way it'd come about, it was so kind of conventional in terms of what you thought was to be expected when you were studying. This idea of like, you go and you do performance, you connect, and then you're offered this part, and then you go and do the job, as opposed to, I've got 20 minutes to do a self-tape in like a reception room in the dark, rubbish lighting.
Yeah.
But
I think there's something about that. So that's really similar to how I got cast in Outlander. Like, I got it off a self-tape, and similarly thought I had absolutely no chance of getting the part. So was almost pissed off at the fact that I'd been sent these 3 scenes and it was like so much work to do, and I was like, I'm never gonna fucking get it. So I ended up just like not phoning it in. I definitely had like worked on it, but I think I was just like, just enjoy it. Like, I think from the drama school that we went to, it was very strict, and I think they put a lot of pressure on us, and like it was quite shaming at times, but I think because of that it held us to like a really high standard. So this was like the first tape that I did where, because of thinking that I had absolutely no chance of fucking getting it, I just kind of had fun with it for the first time, and then I got it. And I think it's because when you just kind of let go, because you have to, because circumstances force you to not get too into your head about it, or like overthink or over prepare or anything like that, you kind of do your best work in a way, because you're just fully trusting the innate thing that is there.
You're thinking less.
Yeah.
And thinking is such a killer.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't think. I shouldn't think. But like, I think thinking is such a... You can think too much. Like, I remember I saw this quote. It was like, smart people often... The smarter you are, the more you think, and the more detrimental it can be for like things that you've done, because you're just way more
analysing
aware of things.
Everything.
Everything that you do. And like, I try to... I don't want to say dumb, because that's the wrong word. It's not nice. But I try to simplify my thoughts. And especially when I'm working, I go, it used to be kind of like, when you do a take, you're like, oh, was that good enough? Kind of stuff. I need to do it again. But actually, all I'm trying to do is satisfy 1, 2, maybe 3 people on a set at a time, which is the director and then any producers that are around. Everybody else, like, as far as I'm concerned, couldn't care less. You think I'm good or not? It's not. I like.
That's so
you
true.
Didn't get me here.
Yeah.
It's those people who made the decisions. I'm trying to, satisfy them, if anybody, but mostly myself, and feel like I've got to, like, I feel accomplished, and I feel like I can do it because I know I can. So it's, thinking is. What is good? What is thinking good for? What do you think thinking is good for?
I think it's like self-preservation, and I think it probably comes from a time where you're trying to like figure things out, like that are threats and stuff like that, and you're trying to like figure out how you would deal with things, I don't know, so that you can be prepared. I think that's why I think a lot. I'm like a worrier, but I'm like a worrier. I like exist in my head a lot.
Do you get anxious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, and like I'm like lay in bed at night, like unable to sleep, because I'm just like trying to second guess everything and like have a plan for every single situation that's in my head, I
have a theory.
Go on.
Right.
Throw it out there.
Stay with me.
Okay.
I think actors especially will tell themselves anything that they need to either put themselves down or give themselves a reason as to why something didn't happen.
Okay.
I think this because I do this.
Okay. And you are the token actor.
And I'm the token actor.
Yeah.
I have thought of many, many things. Like, I remember once I auditioned for this American show. Yeah. And so how do you do your tapes? How do you send them?
Portrait?
No. What do you send them on?
We transfer.
Okay, so I do Vimeo. And on
I
Vimeo,
used to do Vimeo.
Right, on Vimeo you can see how many times.
Oof. So you can see when people are bullshitting you about having watched it as well.
Right? Yeah. No, but you can see how many times somebody's watched it, right? Yeah. So I did this tape for this American show. And in a week or a few days, it got watched like 40-something times.
Oh my God, you went viral.
So in my head, right? And bear in mind,
got the part.
bear in mind, like, right in my head, I'm like, nah, I've got this part, bro. Like,
God.
42 times. They must be circulating around the
Yeah.
studio going, look at this talent. Wow, what talented man. I was like, I can't wait. As every time my agent was calling, I was just like, yeah, man, where's this?
Another
where's
5K.
this offer? Where's this offer, man? Yeah, where's this offer? And then didn't get it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, obviously surprisingly, not surprisingly, obviously wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
Because just, anyway, it was a good tape, but it was just like different vibes.
Yeah.
Which is the key.
Okay.
But when I like mustered up this, like the courage to talk to my agent about it, I was like, I really thought I was going to get it because
so many views.
It got so many views. And like, if you could hear the silence, she was like, it got what? She was like, yeah, it got so many views on Vimeo. And she was like, never tell me, never say that ever again. Because what she broke it down to me was like, you don't know what we do with the tapes.
Yeah.
And she then explained to me that like, she was then like sending it as a reference for like an accent or like different things for other things.
Okay.
So I was like, I thought these guys are like
I
watching
thought you were
this.
going to say, because I've done this before when I used to use Vimeo.
Yeah.
That I uploaded a tape and then the same thing happened and it was like getting loads of views and I was like, what is going on here? It must be great. Yeah. And then my agent like texted me and he was like, you need to put it on private. Because basically it was just like anyone could just watch it.
Oh, no, I do private and password all the time.
No, I know, but I thought
you were
that's
just
what you were
out
going to
here.
say. Just like randoms watching a scene from like fucking Derry Girls or something like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
no,
hilarious.
But it's just like the perspective of you don't know what people are using
Yeah.
the thing for or where it goes. And I was like, it does make a lot of sense because...
And there's so many reasons why you will or won't get something.
Yeah,
like,
so
and
many.
you can drive yourself crazy trying to... Like, when I first started doing tapes, I would, like, watch them back obsessively and I'd be like, God, I said that word so weird.
Yeah.
Like, they're never going to give me the part. But actually, like, when I have got cast, it's been on tapes where I've, like, messed up or because they're just trying to get the vibe of you as opposed to, like, the perfect thing. It's crazy what we tell ourselves.
We tell ourselves anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I've told myself so much stuff that like it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The idea of like why I got a part or why I didn't get a part. Mostly why I didn't get a part. Like, it's because of this and that, that. But now because it's getting to a point where maybe I have more conversations behind the scenes where they, some of the information does make its way back to me sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that does make sense. So I can at least have like closure under certain parts.
I was talking about this last night. Like, we get ghosted so often in our job. It's just like such a weird relationship to have with it.
Yeah,
like,
you got to be strong.
Yeah.
Got to be strong.
Yeah, it really is. Like,
what helps me is watching the stuff that I don't get.
Okay.
Because you really do see it's a different direction.
Completely.
Like very, very different.
Yeah, it's
all
quite
the time.
nice.
And it's like, it's not that everybody's good. It's not that anybody's bad. It's not that you're bad. It's just that it's a different vibe,
I needed
man.
to hear that.
It's a different vibe. It really
No,
is.
yeah.
So many times you go, like I
couldn't have done that. I
couldn't
couldn't be
have-
smaller,
no,
actually.
I couldn't have done that, or like that just isn't me, or just
Yeah.
like if I was to do it, it would take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
I'm not that good.
Time is money, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like really humbling to go, the world is a bit bigger than just my perspective.
Do you feel like the moment when you found out that you got that job, with it being your first job that you got, is that forever going to be like one of the best moments in terms of like the jobs that you've got?
I was with my friend. We were in I think London Bridge.
Yeah, I know it.
And
the Shard.
do you know the Shard? Yeah. Do you know when you see on TikTok and they're like secret places to go in London?
It's like you doing that.
The Shard, and it's like Soho. It's like, come on, guys, please, be serious. No, I was with my friend and he's a photographer, and he took pictures of me that day.
No
so
way.
all those pictures I have, and
That's
that
so
always
sweet.
be kind of like linked to me getting my first
That's
job.
cute.
Yeah.
Love that.
So to answer your question, yeah, completely, because I have a visceral
That's cute.
reason to remember.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
lucky.
A time in your life where you felt like you really didn't have your shit together.
Oh my God. How much time you got?
Not that long.
Okay. Definitely drama school.
Okay.
Just because there's just so many opinions, and I don't do well with too many opinions.
Yeah.
Just because it's just too much. It's just too many different kind of viewpoints, and I think like you got to zone into how you feel about yourself while still being able to take in opinions.
Yeah.
Like I can, you know, opinions aren't facts.
Yeah.
But
okay, CBT.
opinions aren't facts, but they are important. You know?
Yeah.
And it's to kind of take it in and try to weigh it up and go, what is going to be helpful, not for me, but like my development.
Yeah.
So like I found drama school just a weird place to be at because it was so like anxiety inducing. It felt competitive, even though it wasn't competitive, but also it was competitive.
Yeah.
And
but also, if you already have a tendency, like we've just spoken about, to worry or to be in your head or stuff like that, like for me, drama school was just like a fucking hotbed for exacerbating that. Like I was anxious all the fucking time because I was just like I just became so cerebral with everything that I like cut myself off from being able to trust myself at all. I stopped feeling things. Like I went into everything with my head as opposed to like feeling it, you know?
Yeah. I think that's like, I mean, when I talk to people that are on our course, like that's very like common.
Yeah.
And I think what really helped me was around like second year, I kind of decided what I really wanted.
Yeah.
And I realized that maybe the idea of what I thought I could be maybe wasn't the same as the idea that maybe the school wanted in terms of what it is to be a performer and the things I was interested in, all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, well, it's like having parents. It's like obviously not having parents again, but it's like with your parents again. It's like, are you trying to do stuff to satisfy your parents, or are you trying to do stuff to just make your parents proud?
Which
like,
is how I felt at drama school.
You know,
like because of the power dynamics, you end up casting them as this like parental figure where you're trying to get their approval all the time.
Yeah. And I think I kind of like lean towards actually, you know,
rebellion.
Not even rebellion, but like actually, I'm trying to make my parents proud, and I say that in the way that like. My parents, like my actual parents in drama school, like
the drama school parents.
When I first wanted to do acting, they weren't like super into it. But I know that like through achievement, you can make people proud regardless and in spite of it sometimes. And I think I looked at that like, you know, I don't need to kind of maybe satisfy what maybe they want right now. And it's not that I'm ever aiming to, but it's like, I'm sure if I just do my thing and I go down the way that I want to go and I, you know, work hard in the way that I want to work hard, I know I can. I'm sure people will be proud. So it's like... I can take the pressure off getting the validation right now if I ever get the validation, that kind of thing. And that really helped me because I can also be very like one-track minded, and when I decide something, I go, bro, that's it, you know? So like whenever I want to do pieces, certain people will be like, don't do that because we want you to do this. And I'll be like, I'm good. I've decided, and like, unless you pay me.
But that takes like knowing yourself as well. Like,
yeah.
And like, I guess staying aligned with your integrity because... I think I fell into wanting to please them so much that I couldn't see the wood from the trees and kind of lost myself completely there. But like, it takes like a sense of knowing yourself to be able to have that mindset with it.
I kind of got lucky. I think being the baby of the family as well, like final borns, we have like a weird identity thing at times. Sometimes I feel like I had to kind of figure mine out very quickly because both my brothers were just doing really great things. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? You know? And like one of my brothers now, he lives in Paris, has a cafe.
Wow, that's very cool.
My other brother, he works a very, very great job in Kent, and he's married, he's got, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, how do I identify myself? What am I going to be? And I was like, I'm just going to be the person who's the actor, and I want to be the best version of myself. And I can do stuff where, you know, we go to premieres together and they can feel proud that way. And you know, they come visit me on set and they can feel proud. That's and amazing. Like, you know, we can go on holidays together. And, you know, one of my big things was always like not having to kind of rely financially on anybody anymore. And like, I haven't had to do that for like such a long time. And I'm like, I'm actually so proud of myself for that. Because there was a time, obviously, before I graduated, it's like, I just needed like, I just needed bread. I just needed money, man. Like, and it was hard to get it because it was just, you know, you leave a school and then you need to find somewhere to live, and you don't know anybody, all this kind of stuff, and it's hard to find a job that you like and want to keep doing, so you go from job to job to job, and you're like, oh my God, I've made the biggest mistake by coming to London, and you're like, who, like, fuck all this...
Hemorrhaging money.
You're like, fuck all this acting shit, actually, I need to eat, like, you know what I mean? But then you find a rhythm, and you find people, and you go, oh, okay, community, I found it, I feel comfortable, and then you can go back to yourself, and you can feel confident in being able to pursue your dream. And luckily I found that. And I've forgotten the question, to be honest. But a
time where you didn't have your shit together, but you're making it sound like an amazing time.
But it was like, but you know what it is? It was like, it was on the edge. It was like of good times with the bad. And I think it's the disparity, which, you know, the two,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, with my hands, I'm like doing the, you know, with the heart monitor
Like
thing.
ping-ponging.
Yeah, but
between
it's
the
important,
two.
like, because that's life, you know? You have to have the ups and downs.
But that's kind of what's interesting about this is that, like, I think sometimes when you're in a moment, whether it's like a good moment or like a bad moment, you don't necessarily know that you're in it. And it's only when you've kind of got a bit of space from it that you can kind of look back and be like, wow, I was like flying by the fucking edge of my pants. Is that the saying? At that point, you know? Yeah. It's amazing how like resilient we are sometimes, I think.
And I think we don't give ourselves enough credit for it in a very kind of like real way, because people go through so much and we don't know about, you know, ultimately. And you like, do you know how we're saying like that person you say hi to or don't say hi to, you don't know completely. You don't know what's gotten them there that day. You don't know how they're feeling, you don't know what their, you know, frame of mind is. And in the same way that like something you say could, obviously, hopefully you're never saying things that could topple somebody, but something you say could be like their saving grace. Like could be the hope that they needed or the affirmation that they needed. So I've kind of got into a space where like if I see someone doing something cool that I'm like, oh, that's really, really great. I'll just be like, sorry to bother you. Like I just I really appreciate that. Or like, I think that's really, really cool. Like have a great day. And I'm like, oh, that's really, really nice. And you're just like, oh, okay, well.
Give them the flowers.
Yeah, give them the flowers, man. Yeah. And then just like, have a great day. Have a great life. And then just do your thing, you know what I mean? Because that's for free.
Wow,
and like,
you should bring that energy to the gym in the morning.
No. Sometimes.
Have a great day, guys. Sorry to interrupt the weights.
Have a great day, guys. Good day. You're going to be that guy who's the great day guy. But when you stop doing that, then people are like, where's my great day, bro? And you're like, oh, sorry, man. I'm having a bad day.
Oh, and then people should ask you how you are. Yeah. It's a good sign.
It's a good give and take.
Okay, 3 things that make you feel like shit.
When I had it, social media.
Okay.
Because you're just not supposed to know that many people exist.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know? And there's just...
You dip in and out of social media. That's what I've... sometimes it's like Dipo's following you and then he disappears again. Dippo follows me again. I'm like, why does Dipo unfollow me all the time?
It's not. It's just that I keep making new accounts every so often.
Yeah.
But it's not actually by choice. It's that I go through terminating them and deactivating, and then I forget to save it when I terminate it, so it deletes it.
Okay.
So I'm just really bad at that. So I'll just take the sound and just not be on it like personally. Yeah. So the only thing I have now is the photography account, which I don't follow anybody on and nobody can message me on. It's just literally for vibes and pictures. Like, cool. Please don't message me. Don't talk to me. I don't want to have a conversation.
So you're not supposed to know that many people exist?
No, I very much don't believe that you're not supposed to be aware of that many people exist in that many people's lives and that many people's thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, even this, like, you shouldn't, someone shouldn't really know my thoughts. Like, they really shouldn't. And it's like a conscious thing to do. Like, if you tap in, great. But it's like the way that you can kind of like get sidetracked by it.
Down a scroll hole of like someone's weird energy.
And also there was a very big moment I think in life, in our careers, where social media felt like so important to be in. It just felt like your worth, like the number you were, that kind of stuff. And I was just like, that's not healthy at all. Yeah. And I think it's important to try and actually, you know, reclaim social media for what it is,
your
which
own
is
time, I guess.
Yeah, you know. And no, for something like Instagram, like to have that photography account, it's like I'm reclaiming it for what it is, which is a picture
photos
app. You know, and I just post pictures. Yeah. And sometimes people like them, sometimes people don't, you know? And it's fine.
Do you get sad if they don't?
No, I post a picture and then turn it off.
It's like, it's art, babe. You just don't understand
art.
it.
You don't get it. Yeah. You don't get my picture in Dominican Republic. You don't get it. You just not get and they're just like, you just post and go and then that's it. Fair. So that's one. When I have like a takeaway when I shouldn't.
What, I like a dirty takeaway? Yeah. What we're talking?
Do you know when you have like a KFC?
No, I'm vegan.
No, I know. But like, you know when you have like the equivalent of like a KFC and you're like, when you're doing it, you're like, oh God, this is so good. But then as soon as you finish, you're like, why?
Yeah, I hate myself.
Does fried chicken exist?
Yeah.
Why would I do this?
Yeah.
Why would I buy so much?
How much are you buying?
Oh, I buy loads. I'm one of those people, I'm like, let me get this and this and this and this and this. When I'm treating myself, I'm like, no, I must like indulge. I must. Yeah. Because if not me, who? If not now, when? You know what I mean?
That is where that saying comes from.
Exactly. Like I really just, and then I'm like, why have I done this? I should have just not. Or just went to sleep, or just like...
Slept the hunger away.
Yeah, eat some ice.
That's sad though. You know? It must have brought you a bit of joy. Anything in moderation. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Do you know what it is? The joy comes from when I order it and like the excitement of it coming. And I'm like, it's like a present.
Like Christmas.
Yeah, it's like Christmas. Oh, delivery. And you know when you're unwrapping it, you're
What's
like,
it going to be?
You're like the food, you're like unwrapping it and you're like, oh yeah, it's
what
great.
What a sad Christmas if it's just dead birds that you get given.
But then you're like, why have I done this?
Yeah.
I feel gross immediately.
Yeah.
Wasn't that nice.
Wow. Scathing review of KFC.
Sorry, like you're falling off. Like KFC,
Wow.
if you're listening.
Which they are.
Yeah. This vegan-led podcast, they definitely are. I'm just saying, like, they fell off. Burger King and obviously the other one that, you know.
Yeah.
They've all fallen off.
Wow, okay.
Back in my day.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I'm joking. But no, they are worse, actually. Especially the fries from all those places.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
It's less salt, I guess. The salt was what made it amazing.
It's like, let me decide.
Yeah, I know. I'm in charge of my health.
Yeah,
thank you,
exactly.
Government.
Yeah. Innit? It's like, I mean, don't get me started on Jamie Oliver and his school dinner. Bro, like.
Turkey Twizzlers.
Turkey Twizzlers. Oh, my God. Turkey Twizzlers. You know that I had them once?
I've never had them.
I had them once and my mind was blown. And I was like...
By a Turkey Twizzler?
I was telling my friends, I was
gnarly
like, bro,
as fuck.
I've had a Turkey Twizzlers.
Is it good?
They were like, no, I haven't had them. Tomorrow. Next day, gone. Never saw them again.
What, Jamie Oliver, stepped in
it was
that
in
evening?
it was in the process. So, we got the last ones and then, they were
God.
gone. And I was like, felt like I'd been gassed it.
It looked like a dog chew toy.
Listen, there's certain foods you don't look at. Yeah, you just taste.
British tapas is beige as fuck.
Yeah,
smiley faces,
Yeah.
hash browns.
No, but this is
Chicken
English.
nuggets.
This is English heritage right now. This is culture you're talking about.
Twizzlers.
Talking down on even.
Okay.
So I'd be very, very
Oh, wow.
careful
I'm sorry.
This is childhood. You know, it's sprinkle cake
Yeah,
at
sprinkle
school.
cake. Yeah.
And those
The custard.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the Capri Suns that were in the weird boxes.
Yeah, that you could drink upside down.
Yeah.
That was fun. At a school disco.
And you'd
Yeah.
put them on the floor and slide tackle girls. No, you wouldn't do that. No, different place.
Slide tackle girls with your Capri Suns.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what we do, and we'd get banned because we'd open them with like that teeth, and then put them on the floor, and you'd run over and slide tackle the girls.
Wow. That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do if we weren't playing Kiss Chase.
Yeah. And then you were smoking those little chalk cigarette things that you'd get from sweet shops.
Yeah.
Flicking them away.
Flicking them
Little
away.
bad boys in the
But
playground.
then eating them as well. It was a
It's a
bit.
confusing time.
No, it was a simpler time.
Yeah, okay.
It was a much simpler time.
Turkey Twizzlers.
Led by Turkey Twizzlers.
Right, okay. How
Damn
did we
you,
go to
Jamie
that?
Oliver.
Something that makes you feel like shit.
Shit.
Turkey Twizzlers sound like they make you feel amazing.
Well, it's like the jump off point from the KFC.
Right, okay.
Bad food.
Yeah. One more thing.
Right. Do you know when you buy an outfit online and in your head it's like, this is the best outfit.
Yeah. I'm going to look like the model in the
I'm
photo.
going to like, no, it's not, I'm going to look better.
Okay.
I'm going to look better.
Yeah.
I'm going to look so good.
Yeah.
And you get it. And I think it's something to do with unwrapping. Maybe I've got some, yeah. Because again, like unwrapping the food, you unwrap the thing, you're like, oh God, it even smells clean, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, smelling it, that's
and
strange.
you put it on and the bucket just doesn't fit properly.
Yeah.
Not how you envision in your mind. You put the whole outfit together and it's not dropping the way that you thought it was gonna.
That is a shame.
That is the most disappointing thing.
Because you've let yourself down.
You've let yourself down.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've played a trick on my own mind where I was like, no, this was supposed to work.
And because you've been waiting for it, you're almost dreaming about it. And you're like, God, I can't wait for it to come.
And even
how good
worse,
I'm gonna look.
when the material isn't what you thought it would be like.
Okay.
So it's thinner.
Bad quality.
And it's a bit floozy.
Yeah.
And it's not sturdy. It's got no integrity.
Yeah.
When clothes don't have integrity, oh my God. Because I'm into shoes. Trainers. I love trainers.
Yeah.
Like I love them so much. I'm such a trainer person. They're comfortable.
They're the most comfortable that I have.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Have they got a flexi sole?
I don't.
Like
How
a
would I
stiff
know
sole?
that?
It's when you take them off if you can bend them easily.
No, I think they're solid.
Apparently they're good for ankle support.
Thank you.
Because I went to a podiatrist recently and they told me
wow!
that.
So you're really into shoes.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, now I'm getting to that point where I
And
just
now
need
you can start
functional.
being a door-to-door shoe salesman.
100%. If anybody needs advice, get me again. Text in, and we'll get this sorted.
Yeah, we'll do a Q&A at the end.
Yeah, Q&A. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really into trainers and
Okay.
same when you buy a pair of trainers and you're like, oh, it looks so good. And then something that happens sometimes when you buy it and you get home. I don't know if this happens to anybody else.
No.
It's like I've been duped.
Your feet have swollen from the walk home.
I've been finessed and I've been hoodwinked.
Okay.
And now the trainers, they're not
They
given
don't
what
fit
they
so
were
good.
given in
Wow.
the store.
Interesting. What do you
And they
think
don't
that is?
fit. And I put my trousers on. I looked sexy in store. Now I look like an idiot.
Maybe it's different lighting. Sometimes when you go into
It's
a
the
changing
mirrors.
room and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mirrors and the lighting in there are actually hideous. Worse than at home.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that.
It's like I'm
I've
being
never felt
questioned.
so depressed than I have been in a changing room.
It's like gym
in some
mirrors.
shops.
They're like, you look like the best person ever in the gym.
Yeah.
And you go and I'm like, where did the gains? Like, where did all that muscle go? And I'm looking at myself in the mirror at home,
it's like a two-way mirror, and they've just got like bodybuilders behind the mirror.
Where is it?
Hey, Ant.
Hey.
You do a great job in editing this podcast, might I say. If people like the podcast, what do they need to do?
Like it.
What else?
Follow it on social media.
And then what?
They could share it with every single person they know.
Thanks, Ant. You can go back to your corner now.
Bye.
3 things that make you feel like the shit.
The shit.
Yeah.
Oh, buying my friends dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Or just buying stuff for people.
Yeah.
Not because I want stuff in return, but I just think it's nice to treat people that you care about
Yeah.
and love. That makes me feel just so happy.
Cute.
Yeah. A really, really good workout.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no such thing as a bad workout. But do you know when you have a really,
what's
really
like a really good one
workout?
looking like?
When you, every so often, I don't know about you, but I will feel like super, super ready to hit the gym. And I'll like do my weights and then I'll be like, do 45 minutes of cardio.
Wow.
And then maybe like I'll properly stretch.
Indulging.
And I'll spend like an hour or 45 in the gym. And I'm like, I feel so good.
Yeah.
And then even, the mirror gains come with me for a little bit when I get home.
Yeah.
And I go, wow, I look good. I feel good.
Endorphins.
Yeah, I feel good. And I'm like, okay, that was a really good start. Honestly, because I wake up early. This is at like 7:30 a.m. When no one's around. But I'm like, wow, what a great start to my morning.
Yeah.
And then I feel just like...
Like you've achieved something.
Yeah, but also not that I would do anything, but I'm like, I could take on the world. I
Wow.
won't, but I'm like... Because that's like me done for the day. I'm like, I've done my work. I've got my steps in. Getting my steps in makes me feel like this shit.
Do you track that?
I do. I got Fitbit on all the time.
Okay.
Which ruins a lot of outfits. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Because I look like a Spy Kid.
Yeah,
apparently,
yeah.
When I'm like dressed
Spy
up
Kids are
nice.
cool though.
Yeah, they
It's kind
are.
of the same era as the Turkey Twizzlers, so
I'm
you're bringing it all
my
back.
age. I'm showing my age. Take it to the Spy Kids. Someone who's listening to this feeling seen right now. I'm telling you. No, yeah, those 2 things, and then do you know when you in all seriousness, this is like my favorite ever feeling, and it makes me feel like such a happy person because when I was younger, I didn't appreciate it as much.
Yeah.
And I remember I did one in second year, and my parents got really angry at me, and they were like, "Why are you doing this? It's a waste of money."
Okay.
I'm building up the suspense.
Where are we going?
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
really. I'm trying to figure it out.
But then I didn't do it for a while, but then I did it again. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So do you know when you fly on holiday?
Yeah.
And the plane lands and you step out and you're
The
hit
heat.
with the different country.
Yeah.
it's
The
just
smell
like,
of the country.
That
is crazy, isn't it?
That is my favorite. If I could bottle that and sell that.
Yeah. What is that? It's like palmy.
Yeah. And it just feels like, even though it's not your home, it feels like home.
Yeah.
It feels like just so alluring and so enticing. And like that is my favorite sensation.
That is such a good sensation.
When you step off the plane and you can, like, because before I couldn't wait to get off the plane. I couldn't wait to get off the plane. But now I'm like, I'm taking my time. I'm taking it slow. I'm getting off. I'm gonna go to passport control, do my thing, and then, it's
the
fine.
opposite of that is when you come back to like Manchester or something.
Yeah, I
and
want to
it's like,
jump.
fuck, I'm here again.
Yeah.
So
I want to
bleak.
cling to the plane as it takes off and just go. No, I'm just gonna do this because it's horrible. When you come back and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have to pay bills.
Yeah.
I have to check how much money I've just spent in this other country because I was having the time of my life. Apparently. And I can no longer just go to the beach.
Yeah.
Or
Why do we live here?
do you know what? I ask this question to everybody
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay.
And nobody's giving me a good reason.
Yeah. Something that makes you lose your shit in a positive and a negative way. It doesn't have to be the same thing.
Makes you lose your shit. Right, okay. So there's a phrase that I've co-opted from the internet.
Okay.
And this is obviously because of what I do, it's going to be very centric to what my industry is. So it's acting. I think that is the one thing that makes me lose my shit in both a positive and negative way. But there's a phrase which somebody has said about something else, but I have now co-opted it for acting, where acting provides peace the same way the Mafia provides safety.
Okay. Talk
Right.
me through it.
So my industry, my work is the source of all my joy and the main source of all my unhappiness. And the two are so intrinsically linked.
Love, hate.
That you have to just accept the fact that you're going to be happy sometimes, and
Yeah.
you're not going to be happy sometimes.
Yeah.
It's going to be because of the thing that you love.
Yeah.
In the same way, the Mafia will show up to your door and go, listen, it's a bit dangerous around here. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
We can offer protection, and the protection is from themselves.
Okay.
And for me, acting is like, it's going to make you happy, but that same happiness is going to flip very soon, unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it,
Yeah.
apart from just experience it. And if
I like that.
And if you don't want to be unhappy because of it, you're not going to be happy because of it. Because the only way to
Yeah.
be unhappy with it is to take it out of your life, and then that happiness goes as well.
Wow, that's deep. That's
That's
profound.
deep.
That is profound.
I'm
sorry,
finger
poet.
snapping myself. I'm finger snapping myself.
I like that.
But yeah, I think like your passion is something that is gonna make you feel untouchable, also
Yeah.
make you feel worthless, because unfortunately, I don't know about you, but like it's so hard to sometimes differentiate your worth from like
Oh my God,
whether you're
completely.
working.
Yeah,
because,
so much.
Because it's like it feels like you're not wanted, even though it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what you present in as opposed to you, who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that kind of like that can like track for loads of other professions, especially ones that people feel so kind of strongly about, passionate
Yeah.
about, where the
Like
experience,
vocations.
the experience isn't what we always think it's going to be. And also, like I was saying earlier, the perception and the experience is like from like the person, like you can see, so and so is doing this thing,
Yeah.
but the experience they're having is very, very tricky. You know, it's like whenever I work with people who have a very, very big reputation, nobody really cares about whether I'm enjoying the work. It's just
Yeah.
like, what's this? What's so and so like? What's so and so?
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, they're really, really nice. Luckily,
Yeah. And I'm great, thanks.
yeah, and it's like, but yeah, I could be like on death's door and you
that's so
just
true.
don't care. But
Yeah.
that's a part of it until you
Yeah.
become a person that somebody
Completely.
wants to like know what they're
Yeah.
like, you know? So it's like it's a thing you just have to kind of deal with and just go, well, as long as I know who I am and I know what I stand for and what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm treating people well, because I try and do that. And I always say, like, even if you're fake nice, niceness still happens. So like, let that be, something that you can at least try. If you're not
Yeah.
like a naturally nice person, try and be fake nice. Someone will still, receive that love and
Yeah.
take it. I try to be genuinely nice. Genuinely nice. So yeah, I think that's something that is it makes me lose my shit.
Yeah.
Both in a positive and negative
Yeah.
way. And I wouldn't change it because I think it's important that you
Yeah.
have that, like, whether it's overwhelmingly good or overwhelmingly bad, like I'm still here, man. I'm still rising. I'm still in love with it, and I'm still kind
That's
of
good.
like myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good place to be.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of, have you ever listened to Two Shot Podcast?
No.
It's a really good podcast. It's over now, actually. But Craig Parkinson, I think he's called, the host.
He's an actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's incredible, Northern. But he said that acting isn't actually about when you're in the job, it's when you're out of it and how you maintain like your mental health with it. And that's always stayed with me. That kind of, similar to what you're saying, like you hope that it's going to be this beautiful thing, and when you get to do it, it's amazing. But actually, so much of it is dealing with the days when you feel down and you're not enough and you're not getting the work. And I guess believe in yourself enough to just keep kind of pushing through it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, belief is such a big thing. Like whatever you're doing, I think just having that belief that you can do it, or you've done it before, is just is the most important thing. I can't stress that enough. Just like having the belief and also celebrating yourself, because no one's really going to do it for you. Like being able to celebrate yourself is such a good thing. To go like, look, I worked hard, I got what I wanted, and like these are the fruits of my labor. And like that's okay to have a moment and go, wow, big pat on the back. It was hard, and then you go, okay, maybe you move on from them. But like, if you diminish that moment with like underlying negativity, then like the moments might not come, because I do believe in that sort of thing where I think if you, the emotion you put out into the world, I think like they catch fire and they can spread to other emotions and other moments in your own life, and like they can spread to moments that haven't happened yet.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to be like, you know what, I've got this job, I'm very thankful, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And to like shower it. Oh my God, I can't speak today. Shower it with, good vibes and good energy.
moment that you found some shit out about yourself.
I think probably most recently is when I did this. I self-produced, directed, wrote, acted, and produced a short film.
Amazing.
And I found a lot about myself. But also, the main thing was, it was so... to this day still, I have no idea what I'm doing with it. And that's okay, because I'm just kind of like figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I've found that like I can dream something up and execute it, and no one died.
Yeah.
And no one's angry at me, and it's actually all right.
Yeah.
Like I watched the one of the latest cuts for it, and I was like, okay, yeah.
That's so cool.
It's not actually what how I feared it would go, because I think like there's a thing that I have when, unfortunately, I think because I'm in it, it's quite hard.
Yeah.
But also when I'm on screen, I find it so hard to kind of like differentiate from me as a human being. I'm just like, that's me wearing a hat, saying words, and I can't really buy into the narrative of the story. So I've been trying to like do that.
Separate yourself from it.
Separation, disassociate a little bit. And I found it tricky, but then I kind of showed it to some people and just been like, I don't want anything too deep. I just wanted to go like, is it
Does it work?
good? Does it make sense? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's all I need to hear. Because now I'm like, this is the only other opportunity that I'll have to just make something selfishly, which I think is important, to go, well, I just want to do this because it's for me. And like, I think a lot of filmmakers share this. I think like you need to just make stuff that you would want to see.
Watch, yeah.
So if only it's one viewer and it's me, then at least somebody watched it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On your Vimeo.
I'm on Vimeo.
47.
47. Wow, this is the best film on Vimeo.
Yeah. That's so
yeah.
cool, because I think a lot of the time, like, people will have ideas about what they want to do, for example, but then be limited by the fact that they don't really know what they're doing, or are a bit scared about getting it wrong, or it failing. But actually, there's something in just like having a go at it, and
100%.
I guess removing the perfectionist element of it, because like I remember when we were starting this podcast, we were putting it off for so long because we wanted it to be right. Like, we wanted everything to be perfect for when we did it. And then someone said to me, just get it out, because like it's never going to be perfect, and you'll learn on the job and as you're doing it, and there'll be things that you didn't even anticipate to go wrong that will go wrong, and all of those things. Like, you can't overly prepare for it to, you know.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I remember, like, I've always been the type of person that, especially at drama school, when I was younger, well, I'll just say when I was younger, but at drama school, I was the person, like, if I didn't get something, I'm very happy to stop the world in order to try and understand it. Now, I'm older, I'm like, that's very selfish in an ungiven way, but you can still have that kind of, like, I don't know what's happening, but I need to find out, like, and I'm a bit, like, unashamed with what I don't know. I don't really care if you think it's stupid. Like, I remember in one of the first acting classes, I think it was Shakespeare actually, in the barn, and they were talking about this guy.
Not Shakespeare.
They were talking about no. Imagine, who's William Shakespeare?
Is this guy?
They were talking about this actor, and I was like, who is this? Who's this person? And they were talking about Mark Rylance, and I was like,
I had the exact same thing.
I didn't know who he was.
I never knew who he was.
And everyone was like, how can you not know?
I'm
I'm
like
like,
the London theatre scene. I was like, I've never been to London.
No, but it's even that. It's like, I wasn't, like, before I came here, I wasn't into acting.
Right.
Like, I couldn't care less about the industry. I just like
Stumbled
watching
into
films.
the audition.
Yeah. So when they were like, who's this? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So now I know. Now I can kind of be informed. And like, I don't mind if people think that's stupid, because why would I have a reason to know? Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's important to go in the filmmaking process that I've had. Like, with people going, look, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
They'll be like, have you got a composer? Have you got this? I'm like, no, because bro, I thought you just made the film and you just put it out. And you know what I mean? I thought you did it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, no, who do you think what should I get? So I write down a list and I'm like, okay,
that's cool.
So this is what I need to get.
And people want to help as well.
They
like,
do.
If they see that you're enthusiastic, like, people want to help you.
And I think it's like, it's not a bad thing to not know, because unless you know everything, like fair fucks to you. But if you don't, like, you're like 99% of the population who don't know everything about everything.
You can learn.
Oh, obviously learn. And I've learned so much. And now I can impart knowledge to somebody else if they ever try. Not that, you know, I'm like a fountain of knowledge, but if anybody's like, oh, you made a short film, I'll be like, yeah, this is what I found out.
Wow, I love that.
And it was hell, don't do it. But yeah, it's really fun.
That's cool.
And,
nice. Okay, shittest piece of advice you received.
Sorry if anybody's listening to this who's not an actor, but this is for actors specifically.
Okay.
If anybody tells you that you really, really need new headshots, you don't.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about using that money, use it, but use it on a holiday. Because you will love yourself way more for it.
Yeah, that's good advice. You flipped the bad advice.
You flip the bad advice into good advice. Because this whole idea, as long as your headshot kind of looks like you, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to not get you in
It's not going to not, and it's not going to be the reason. Someone's like, oh God, that hair, that thing, oh my God. Yeah. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
So just...
I think it's just because we feel so out of control with like what we actually can do within this industry that I think you're grappling for things, be it like headshots or like a show reel or stuff like that. Like it is just pissing money out in the hope that it will help you somehow. But actually you're so right. Like if you're doing stuff to like love yourself or like working on projects that you're passionate about and stuff like that, that will shine through more than like a nice little headshot of you.
Nice little headshot.
Yeah.
It's expensive, man.
They are expensive.
You know
They're fucking well expensive.
Actually, you know what's also expensive but fun?
What?
Paris.
The price for headshot.
Yeah.
You could be in Paris.
I think you actually could be, you know.
Yeah. And just get a snappy snap camera.
Get a little snappy snap.
And
snap.
take your own.
Take your own.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, I feel like we've really hit the nail on this shit advice.
Yeah. Shit you wish you'd known sooner.
That you have to pay bills. Right?
Yeah, you do.
Life is... Do you know what the saddest moment of my childhood was? Do you know when you'd fall asleep on the sofa?
Yeah.
And then you'd wake up magically in bed?
Yeah.
And it was the best thing ever?
Yeah.
And one day...
I feel like you're too big for that now.
That motherfucker just stops doing it. Like, my dad just stopped doing it. I was like, what is going on? What is this shit?
And you're like feigning sleep because you're like waiting for them to carry you and then it doesn't happen. I used to do that in the car on the way home.
I'm like, this isn't what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Do you know I woke up in the car once.
Still there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still there. Unlocked, obviously.
Yeah,
I can get out.
Yeah.
Woke up in
Get
the car.
yourself out. Get yourself to bed. Wow.
And I was like, is this life? I didn't know what that was. And then years later, I'm like, oh, that was the beginning of, you have to
Fending
do this.
for yourself
bro.
now. Yeah.
You have to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
These bills will keep... these bills will keep coming, bro. They're relentless.
Oh my God.
Council tax.
Oof.
TV license.
Woof.
Everything I thought was free.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, bill.
My Wi-Fi's gone up by double because it's been 2 years. Why are they just helping new members?
Bro.
Yeah. It's rude.
Everything that I thought... Do you know what? For so long, I thought food was free.
Wow.
Because I'd go to Tesco, I'll put stuff in the thing, and then I'll just not pay attention when my dad was paying. I thought it was like an agreement.
Fridge is always full.
Yeah, the fridge is always full. I'm
getting carried to sleep. Wow. What I'm getting is like princess vibes from you.
My parents just loved me. You know what I mean? I think that's just like a food and being carried when you're a kid. I feel like it happens to everybody.
It's the best thing. Yeah.
And if it didn't happen to you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing and like actually having to face life.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, what do you mean I have to pay to live? Nobody told me that until they told me. Tax as well. Oh my God.
Tax. Oh my God, yeah. Awful.
Tax? What do you mean tax?
Why did we never get taught that at school? I feel like it was like a 10-minute lesson that we had on the last day before the barbecue.
Tax was always a thing. Tax was always like an idea to me. It was
a thing on Monopoly.
Like, tax. And yeah. You know, I remember someone saw that. It was like, if nobody bought houses on Monopoly and everyone just went past go all the time, everyone would just get richer. Yeah, you'd just be collecting money.
But that's not true because then you're also landing on other people's houses.
No, but if nobody bought
everyone
houses,
agreed.
Yeah.
I had a friend who used to play anti-capitalist Monopoly. So every time he passed go, he would like he'd share the wealth.
Okay, so are they anti-capitalist in life? And do they need more friends?
I think they were, but like everything, you know, they got worn down by the system.
Oh, okay. So now they are the system.
Story. Now they are the system. Now they are Mr. Monopoly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, as I get older and I learn about tax and like, you know, you hear about people going to prison for tax evasion. I'm like, I would never say I'd do it.
Yeah.
But I understand
and
why
when
somebody might
when you go
want
to jail, when you play Monopoly, it means that you don't have to pay anything.
Exactly.
It's actually like a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just matters where you get arrested because, you know, like prisons in Sweden.
Nice.
I've seen worse one-bed flats in London.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm. Which circles back to
why are we here?
Why you need to see it?
Okay, so we're at the moment of a shit shot, which is a photo that to the outside eye looks like you have your shit together when you actually didn't.
There's this picture of me. Oh, I have to find it. There's a picture of me with... Were you there when Ryan was there at drum school?
Yes.
And there's a picture because we did a play together at the Vaults Festival.
Oh, okay.
And there's a picture of him strangling me.
Wow.
As part of the production.
Okay.
And that's one of my favourite photos because it's like you do like classical training and you spend 3 years and a lot of money to be like the best performer you can be.
Yeah.
And then like you're getting fake strangled.
By someone who was your teacher.
By someone you went to drama school with. And no, not that Ryan.
Oh!
Oh my God. No.
Which Ryan are we talking
there
about?
was one as a postgrad.
Ryan. Was he Irish?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's married now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing well.
No, you meant emotional recall guy. Nah,
yeah, that's what my response was.
Oh, okay.
I was like, why was he strangling you? That's crazy.
No. And it's like the things that you do for the stuff that you love. But that was at a time where I was just like, just not happy. So I was like, if you have that idea of what you should be doing and all this kind of stuff. And the Vaults is a unique place.
Yeah.
It's a unique place, man. And I was just like, I felt like I was in a transitional period in my life, and I was just like, that picture actually felt like if the strangulation was real, I would have been like,
Ryan was life coming for you.
Yeah. I've been like, no, this makes sense. 'Cause this is actually how I feel. But like from the outside looking in, it's like acting and fun. But actually, I was like, no, this is how I feel.
Wow.
Like life is really just out here doing the most. Strangling me, literally. Like honestly, feet swinging off the floor. Like yeah.
So, Dipo, have you got your shit together?
Have I got my shit together? Yeah, because I'm like one of the best people ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, though.
Other than that.
Yeah.
Oh. Have I got my shit together? I'd say I'm happy. And it doesn't matter if I've got my shit together.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to, let life give me a curveball. No, I think I do.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable, I'm happy, and I'm
And I guess you
enjoying
know
myself.
the things now that you need in order to maintain that like happiness.
Yeah. Do you have your shit together?
No.
Oh.
But I'm okay with it.
Are you happy?
I think that happiness, like any emotion, is fleeting.
Do you ever get nervous?
Do I get nervous? Yeah, I do.
Well, I was actually quoting a song.
Oh.
Lil Wayne.
Oh, I thought you actually cared about me.
Do you love this? Do you love this shit? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous?
I don't know it.
Oh.
This is really awkward. I was
send it
trying to do like a nice wrap up thing, and you just like interrupted it and made it awkward.
Got like all very different. Sorry. No. It's a bit awkward.
Anyway, cool. So if you just head out of the house and go left and then right, that's where the tube is.
Can I put my shoes on first?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Are they a flexible sole?
They're not.
No. That's a
No,
shame.
they're not. They're bad. I need to get better ones. No, but seriously, tell me about having your life together, shit together.
Well, like anything, I think that happiness is like an emotion that comes and goes. So I think if that's what I'm aiming for constantly, then that's not going to happen. So it's more getting comfortable with the discomfort of it and feeling, I always say it's like feeling a resilience. So like if shit happens, which it inevitably will, feeling strong enough to be able to ride it as opposed to like submerging it into it.
Let it overcome you.
Exactly. Yeah. That was a better answer than what you gave, wasn't it?
No.
You said that you were the best person ever.
I am.
Cool.
It's true.
And that's really helpful for people listening. So.
Please. Who's trying to help them? I'm trying to help myself.
This is about me.
I'm selfish. I said that at a jump. Come on, man. What you talk about?
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Honestly. No, you should be thanking me. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
No, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And a privilege. And it's so great to see you, like, being happy.
Thank you.
And even if you don't think you have your shit together, I think you do.
Oh, thanks.
I think you do. I think, I'm very inspired by you. So
Oh, it means a lot.
That's the thing. No,
Thanks.
Finger snaps. There we go.
The end.